And a lot of my sisters, before you attend the party, you will still organize makeup, you will organize somebody to do your gele. Then that is the Ashwebi angle, and then you have to get Uber to take you there. If you are taking your car, then you have to buy fuel. You know, it's a lot of expense for you to go and celebrate and dance and, you know, do some one day call. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Bulletproof Life. It's me, Ronke Odewumi, and as usual, I'm delighted to have you here. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips to help you survive the harsh living conditions in Nigeria. These tips would work for anyone living in a country where things are super hard, you're struggling, and you're just trying to make ends meet. Even if you're not in a country where inflation is high, if you're living in a country where things are great, but you are not doing so well, and your finances are struggling, and you're just living paycheck to paycheck and trying to survive, this video is for you. But my focus is especially on my followers and viewers from Nigeria. You guys, I love you. You guys are fantastic people. You are in a place that is difficult to survive and thrive in, and yet so many of you are doing so excellently. So these tips are designed to help you survive and thrive in a place that will otherwise make life really difficult for you. But before we go into the 10 tips I have for you, can I please ask you to take a minute to smash the like button for me? If you haven't subscribed, please do it by pressing the red button on your right. Subscribing is free, and if you press the bell, you will get notifications every time I share a new video. So let's get right into these 10 tips I have for you. What 10 tips do I have that will help you survive and thrive in Nigeria? A lot of them you probably know already, but me sharing them is going to validate that knowledge that you have, and it's going to remind you that these things are good and you should practice them to make your life easier in a difficult environment or in a situation where your finances are difficult and you're just trying to make ends meet. The first tip I have for you, if you're living in Nigeria, is for you to switch off your data when you're not using it. Yes, Nigerians buy data in bundles. You buy data so that you can access the internet, you can access social media and so on. Please switch off your data when you are not using it. If you are not using it, if you are in transit, you are on the bus, or you are traveling and you are not using your data, there's no reason for it to be on. Otherwise, your phone is going to be downloading things, keeping abreast of information on the various platforms and apps that you subscribe to, and using up your data. So if you are not using your data at any point in time, switch it off. Still speaking of data, try to keep abreast of the bundles and deals that are offered by telecoms providers. So if there are saver bundles that you can buy, if there are saver plans that you can get on top of them and use them to reduce your data expenses. One thing I've observed in my visits to Nigeria is that data can consume so much of your money. You can spend so much on data because you are using it, and it's the only way for you to be aware of what's going on in the outside world. So for you to get on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, to read the news, Google Finance, and all of those things, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, you need data. You need data for anything internet. And so it's consuming your money, you're spending and spending, and then at the end of the day, you are wondering where your money is going to. And that is my first tip for you. If you're not using your data, switch it off so that you can conserve data. And if you can get on saver bundles or deals that are being offered by MTN or any of the other platforms, please get on top of it to reduce how much you spend on data monthly. The second tip I have for you also has to do with data and social media, and it's for you to use Facebook on free mode. I'm aware there's something called free mode, which means that you won't see pictures, you won't see videos, but you can read text. So a good idea is for you to use Facebook on free mode as part of reducing how much you spend on data. Thirdly, buy non-perishable food in bulk. Things like rice, beans, yam, garri, oil, maggi, and crayfish, they would keep in your house. They do not require a refrigerator. They are not light or electricity dependent. So you can buy them in bulk. And when you buy these things in bulk, they prevent you from eating out. They prevent you from trying to find ways to feed yourself when funds have become low, towards the end of the month. Because if you have rice at home and you have oil and you have maggi and crayfish, you can always make concoction rice. If you have beans and yam, that's a combo. If you have gari, you can soak it and then you can eat eba. There are so many options open to you when you have these non-perishable foods in the house. Even for me, living in the UK, I always make sure I have these non-perishable foods at home. I always have rice, beans, and gari at home, oil and maggi. These are things I always have at home. In fact, for me, I always have ground pepper at home because once I have those things, I can make concoction rice, I can cook beans, I can cook yam, I can make the rice and beans, I can make rice and sauce, I can make yam and sauce and things like that. So you can eat all those things when funds are low. At least you are not starving. So buy non-perishable food in bulk. Additionally, when you buy it in bulk, you gain the benefit of buying in bulk without losing out on the fact that it can spoil because there is no electricity for you to power your refrigerator. Also, if you have space in your yard, because space is something that we have in abundance in a lot of houses in Nigeria, in a lot of yards in Nigeria, you have space. If there is space in your yard where you can plant things, plant vegetables. I said earlier that if I have rice, if I have beans, if you have yam, you can cook something. But if you have vegetables in the yard, you can make sauces, you can make vegetable soups, and you can eat proper meals. And vegetables are such a good part of your diet. It's a great way to not miss out on the benefits that they offer because you can't go out and buy them. So if you have space in your yard, you can plant things like spinach. And the beauty of living in Nigeria is that the weather is very good. The weather is very supportive of a lot of vegetables. They grow easily without you needing to do much. So if you have space in your yard, I would suggest that you plant vegetables so that you can add them to the non-perishable foods that you've bought and you can make yourself simple meals. So even when you are low on funds, you can go into your backyard, get some vegetables, cook them with your rice that you already have or your yam that you already have, make some vegetable soup with your gari and have a good lunch, even though you don't have a lot of money in your pocket. Despite the fact that COVID is raging, I know Nigerians, we like our parties. We are still partying on the low. We are having those small weddings, those small parties and so on. It's happening. We know we are doing it. And one thing I love about our culture is Asoebi, the fact that we can have that uniform that everybody can wear at parties. But uniforms have become a burden over the last few years. People are buying them, people are selling them at such exorbitant prices. If you have 10 weddings, that's 10 different uniforms to buy and it's eating into your pocket. So I'm here to suggest to you to reduce Asoebi buying. You don't have to buy Asoebi for every party you are invited to. If you know the color which they are wearing, look into your wardrobe and pick out that color and wear it along with them. To a large extent, you will blend in and a lot of people will not notice that you're not wearing the exact Asoebi that everybody is wearing. And even if they notice, you are cutting your coat according to your size. So it's okay for you to show up at events without wearing the Asoebi that they've bought. Another suggestion I always have for people is if your friend is getting married, your friend is the bride, you can always tell them Asoebi or a wedding gift. They can have either of the two. And you'll be surprised that a lot of brides will actually pick wedding gifts or monetary contributions to their wedding instead of you buying the Asoebi. So think twice before you buy Asoebi for an event. You can always color match along with the celebrant, along with the other Asoebi wearers, and you won't feel left out. Still on the Asoebi matter, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. So if you are not going to be buying Asoebi, another suggestion I have for you is that you shouldn't mandate others to buy your Asoebi or your uniform. So if you're having a party and you have uniforms to sell out, try not to mandate people to buy it. In fact, I would suggest that you yourself not do any uniforms at all. Because if you have parties and you don't do Asoebi and you don't do uniforms and you ask people to come in something blue or come in something white or come in something pink, you get the idea. People then know that, this person didn't mandate me to buy any of their own Asoebi. They didn't have uniform at their own party. So I really can't mandate them to buy Asoebi. Then people are less likely to be offended when you don't buy their Asoebi. Do not mandate others to buy Asoebi or uniforms for your party. Still on the party matter, because parties are a thing. They're a thing for us Nigerians. We love to party, and especially if you're a Yoruba person or you're living in Lagos or any of the southwest towns, you know we like our parties, we do them, we love them, they're lavish, they're fun, but parties again eat into your finances, especially when you attend parties out of town. So I'm here to say attend parties with wisdom. Don't travel 10,000 miles, 7 hours to go and attend a party. Sometimes it's best to just give the celebrant a gift and tell them, unfortunately, you can't attend this party. Unless it's a party being organized by somebody who is very close to you, somebody that's very important to you, a close family member. Honestly, attend parties with wisdom. It's okay for you to RSVP that you can't attend and give them a gift instead. 10,000 naira to go and eat jollof rice is no wisdom. 50,000 naira expense to go and eat jollof rice is no wisdom. And a lot of my sisters, before you attend the party, you will still organize makeup, you will organize somebody to do your gele. Then that is the Ashwebi angle, and then you have to get Uber to take you there. If you are taking your car, then you have to buy fuel. It's a lot of expense for you to go and celebrate and dance and do some one day call and all of that and eat some jollof rice. So I'm here to say attend parties with wisdom. Not every party needs to be attended. So think about it before you attend parties. A good trick is for you to say you will attend only one Ashwebi party per month, or you will attend only one party per month. Once you've attended that party, that's it for the month. Or you can say it's 2 per month, or you can say you're having only 2 out of town parties per year. So you have set a rule for yourself and you are not breaking that rule. Get a power bank. We all know how erratic power is in Nigeria. Before you say 1212, power has gone off, and your battery is dying, your laptop battery is dying, your phone battery is dying. And a lot of people in Nigeria, you do a lot of things on the phone. I mean, even I in the UK, I do a lot of things on my phone. So my next suggestion is for you to get a power bank. And the power bank is useful in the sense that if you have a power bank, you can charge your phone, so you don't have to switch on the generator to charge your phone. Because a lot of people, sometimes you have to switch off your generator just to charge your phone. And then if you have that power bank, your generator can stay off for a few more hours before you absolutely have to switch it on. So get a power bank is useful. I mean, it allows you to do your business, to thrive, to go out, to do what you need to do, to make the phone calls that you need to do, the payments that you need to do on your phone, because your phone is not dead. So get a power bank. A power bank doesn't just save you the cost of not switching on your generator early. It saves you the time you will waste trying to look for a place to charge your phone, the things you can't do because your phone is dead, the calls you will miss because your phone is dead. I mean, if you are somebody who is job hunting, for example, you don't want to miss a recruiter's call. You don't want them to call you and your phone is dead at that time because you don't have a power bank. So please get a power bank. It's a lifesaver and it's something that will help you rise above the power situation in Nigeria, which is a total problem. It's sad that we still have power issues in Nigeria. We've had them since I was a kid. I can't remember the time when power was completely 24/7, probably when I was like 6 or when I was 5 in Nigeria. I mean, since then, power has been up, down, and erratic, and it's just not improved. And until it does, get a power bank. For those who have children, it's time to start teaching your children how to avoid waste, how to use up things, how to repurpose things. You want to help them to become frugalistas, to live frugally from a young life. And it's not teaching them poverty. It's teaching them to make things last. It's teaching them to not be wasteful. So that when you buy things in the house, the whole family as a whole is coming together to make things last. Toothpaste lasts longer because somebody's not squeezing it anyhow and spreading it all over the sink. Soap lasts longer because when they use it to wash their hands, they put it back in the soap dish. They don't leave it in the sink to dissolve away. Bottles are closed. People are using things carefully. And the way to make sure that your whole family is joining you to use things carefully to make things last is to start teaching your children from a young age how to avoid waste. I make it a project to teach my daughters how to avoid waste. I teach them how to squeeze out the last bit of their toothpaste. I tell them to squeeze it. When they use their cream, I open it. They see me turning it upside down and draining it properly before I throw away the bottle. I'm showing them how to avoid waste, how to maximize purchases. And I think that's an important trick as somebody living in Nigeria or living in a place where things are difficult, your finances are struggling a bit, is to teach your children how to avoid waste. Teach them to make things last. Teach them to repurpose things. Before you throw away something, teach them how to repurpose it. Before they chuck something in the bin, ask them, is there something else we can use this for? Show them how to repurpose things, how to turn one thing into a multi-purpose product. This last point is applicable to everyone. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Nigeria, if you're in the UK or in the US, it doesn't matter. This point is applicable and it's for you to diversify your income. It's especially applicable in Nigeria because a lot of employers owe employees, income is not paid regularly. Salary is so erratic. Today they pay you, tomorrow they don't pay. I mean, even federal government is owing staff. State governments are owing staff. So companies that are private entities are also owing staff. And so income is erratic. Even for those who are not being owed by their companies, today they are there, tomorrow they've been retrenched, they've been told to go home. Today you're at work, tomorrow your company folds up. Nigeria is such a harsh environment and there's no recourse to public funds. There is no government supporting you if you lose your job, which is why you need to diversify your income. You need to spread your income sources out. You need to learn a skill and sell that skill. Sell something, have a side also, retail something, sell a skill online. You can earn income from so many platforms online. The world is your oyster, really. You can earn income from Fiverr, from Upwork. You can get paid. And platforms like Flutterwave have partnered with foreign payment platforms like Stripe. So they've made it easy for you to get paid. You're not struggling to get your money in. You do the job, you get your money. So there is no excuse not to diversify your income. You have access to the internet. You can sell things on Instagram. Instagram has a shopping platform now where you can sell things. You can sell things on Facebook. There is absolutely no excuse for you to not diversify your income. Find a side also and make extra money to shore up whatever you are making from your main income. Diversify your income. And I have now shared with you 10 tips to help you survive and thrive in Nigeria. Now, for somebody who is not living in Nigeria, I think I've tried. Because some of these tips, you're probably not aware of them, or you're aware of them already, but you're not practicing them. So I've come here to just remind you of these 10 tips and tricks that you already know because you're living in Nigeria. Now, if you're living in Nigeria and you're watching this video, please share additional tips and hacks in the comment section so that the bulletproof community, we can learn together. We can help each other to grow. We can help each other to thrive and survive in the harsh environment that is Nigeria. So let's make the comment section active. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the comment section, sharing tips and tricks that you have been using that's been helping you survive in Nigeria or in any other country where you feel the circumstances are harsh and inflation is high. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, friends, please do it by pressing the red button on your right. Please press like on this video so that YouTube can share with other people like you. I really love hanging out with you. I love making these videos for you, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them. Until my next video, you take care of yourself and keep living that bulletproof life. Bye-bye.